en temps universel. On en parlait il y a quelques sur le continent. Quels sont les défis auxquels les journalistes font face? Peuvent-ils travailler sereinement dans les zones de conflit? En tout cas, la situation est particulièrement difficile. Vendredi, lors de la conférence annuelle du réseau Dupont-Verlon pour le journalisme d'investigation. RFI Reportage, Juliette Dubois.
Reporters sans frontières tirent la sonnette d'alarme. Certaines régions deviennent des trous noirs d'information où les antennes sont détruites et les relais locaux coupés, comme dans les Kivu en République démocratique du Congo ou dans certaines zones du Sahel. Et ce sont les journalistes de terrain locaux qui paient le prix fort. Sadibou Marong est directeur régional de RSF.
Vous êtes menacé, mais vous ne pouvez pas rester. Vous vous déplacez. Et quand vous vous déplacez dans des zones, par exemple, qui sont beaucoup plus entre sécurisées, mais vous trouvez que ces zones ont déjà aussi un personnel des autres acteurs qui sont des journalistes comme vous.
Ces journalistes doivent à la fois faire face à la pression des groupes armés et à celle des États qui exigent un fort patriotisme. Diana
de contre-discours. On se demande si les journalistes, en tant que garants de l'information et de l'intégrité de l'information, doivent se mêler à cette lutte contre le terrorisme, ce patriotisme soudain, et c'est-à-dire manipuler l'information pour que cela soit indirectement de la lutte qui fait
Il y a des défis d'électricité, il y a des défis de connectivité. Donc lorsque le journaliste n'arrive pas à faire son travail, par exemple, d'autres membres du réseau peuvent venir soutenir pour aider à collecter certaines informations. Et après, lorsque le produit final est prêt et que c'est danger la vie du vérificateur de fait ou du journaliste d'investigation, le réseau peut intervenir pour aider à la publication.
Du côté de la formation, les écoles de journalisme comme le CESTI à Dakar s'adaptent pour que les jeunes journalistes soient prêts à travailler dans des contextes violents ou sous forte pression. Moumini Camara, directeur des études.
On attaque le contenu en fonction de l'évolution des phénomènes. Et là, on a intégré le terrorisme. Et dans le module qui traite du terrorisme en Afrique, on sensibilise en amont les étudiants parce qu'ils sont formés. On ne sait pas si demain ils peuvent se retraiter à l'opération. Sur deux aspects, leur intégrité physique, mais également l'intégrer de l'information.
En 2024, plus de la moitié des pays africains sont classés par Reporters sans frontières en situation difficile ou très grave pour la liberté de la presse. Juliette Dubois, Dakar, RFI.
Reportage à réécouter sur l'application RFI Pure Radio. Bientôt 13h en temps universel avant de retrouver Gilles Moreau pour le journal. Comme tous les dimanches, on a rendez-vous avec Maria Afonso et sa chronique 100% création.
and was in a QSY to 27 decimal 445.
Hello, CQ, calling CQ DX, CQ Pacific and Asia from Europe. 14 Radio Charlie 019. I am 14 Radio Charlie 019, QSY 27 510, number 5, number 1, number 0, 510. Thank you. Pacific and Asia. 14 Radio Charlie 019 calling QRZ.
1 Alpha Tango 105.
078. 1 Alpha Tango 1970. 1970.
Tocca a Roberto, allora vai Roberto, poi dopo non ho capito che se il Gianni c'è ancora, vai Roberto, poi Gianni.
Johnny B. Bad on Dickie's Radio. Hey, Chippy, Johnny B. Bad downtown London. We Dickie's Radio, Chippy, Johnny B. Bad again now. You know that the army don't have a buddy. Hey, Chippy, don't wait on the boy, Chippy, Johnny B. Bad again now.
Ξέρεις, αυτή ανεβαίνει, εδώ τις έχω το δωμάτιο ανοιχτό όλο και πάει και στον προθάλαμο. Κάθονται. Να μην είναι τελείως εδώ κλειστή η πόρτα. Και όπως είναι έτσι μισάνοιχτη ας πούμε, αυτή ανεβαίνει πάνω στον καναπέ. Δίπλα είναι πολύ κοντά δηλαδή η κλειδαριά και αρχίζει και παίζει. Διάφορα. Ξεκινάει απ' έξω με παιχνιδάκια που τις έχω και όταν τα βαρεθεί ψάχνει μετά μέσα στο δωμάτιο τι θα κάνει. Τι λαμογιά θα κάνει. Ναι. Αρκεί να μην σου κάνουν χοντρές ζημιές. Να μην πάθεις ζημιές. Σπάσει ο χοντρός. Είναι μεγάλος τώρα από χωτόμι. Σπάσει καλό βάζο. Οι άλλοι να βάζουν και πού το είχα ψηλά. Πώς ανέβηκε εκεί πάνω ρε φίλε. Της κουζίνας. Αναγκάζει. κάνει ζημιές κι άλλες. Vai Roby, se l'hai ascoltato al massimo. Ναι, και επικίνδυνα να χάσεις και πολύτιμα πράγματα έτσι να σου χαλάσουν. Έτσι, οπότε πρέπει να προβλέψεις από πριν σε τι χώρο θα τα έχεις. Όχι, όχι, σε καμιά ώρα. Έχεις πάει εσύ? Οπότε την έχεις ταλατσώσει, πώς δεν ξέρεις μου την ξεομορφέας. Κεφαλοκλείδωμα.
Come mi sentite facendo il president, così vediamo un attimino se mi sentite bene anche su quello là. Vai Renato.
Ah, bene, ok. Va bene, comunque lì l'apparato del Massimo è bello, Cazzo, io quando siamo andati a Milano che ne ha comprato uno lì, l'ha pagato 650, 600 e 600. Se eravamo in lire o se eravamo in lire credo. 150.000 lire l'aveva pagato Massimo.
Sì, adesso sono ripreso con l'altro, perché sì, no, va bene. No, ma ce l'avevo lì fermo, l'ho comprato già anni fa. L'ho provato 2 o 3 volte, non mi è mai piaciuto e l'ho sempre lasciato lì, perché non è un... Cioè, non so, vabbè, sono abituato con questo adesso, allora... Però adesso lo faccio girare, perché almeno... Però non mi è mai piaciuto il apparato, era sempre nominato come qui o là, bellissimo, bellissimo, però a me non piace. Però, vabbè, basta che funzioni, magari cerco un microfono preamplificato, magari funziona meglio sicuramente. Magari con un po' di vitamine, magari. Va bene, vai Roberto.
Sure, guys, I put too much power into it in the end, I just thought, fuck you. You know what I mean? I really got my head in.
Yeah, no, I know. I've heard not so good things about Radio World, to be fair. I think they're okay if you want to use them in an emergency, but no, I won't be buying nothing else off them.
No, we won't.
Any focus out there? Oh, fucking lightning sleeping in the other.
Fuck you, but RTs when I'm like, oh, for the new one.
Man.
Pensa che lo sento col baracchino, lo sento con l'ultima volta questa differenza sui segnalini, che li sento con i 2 apparati CB, sia con questo che con il Galaxy, e con l'apparato professionale invece non lo sento, roba da matti, vabbè. Questo qua è il President Lincoln. Vediamo un po' Massimo se mi hai ascoltato. Ah, non sto lì dentro armato a comprare microfoni, io ho giù una cassetta piena, la prima volta che vieni, hai capito, ce ne ho giù qualcuno. Vai Massimo.
E ok, allora quando vengo poi giù lo porto giù, vediamo se troviamo va bene, dai. Allora, prima ne arrivavi 9 più 40, la voce è perfetta, Adesso col precedent gli arrivi 9,50, però la voce non è perfetta come quello di prima, arrivi sempre perfetto come c'è, ma non come prima. E Roberto, un apparato professionale che è il 27991A col suo microfono dedicato da base, quindi tutta un'altra storia.
Yok, her yerden A'la geçiyorum. A artı plus.
Birisi kanalda radyo çalıyor uzaklardan.
Hiç sorma ya, o sarı kafa var ya, bir türlü kurtulamıyoruz ondan. Arada bir çıkıp geliyor böyle. Vodka'yı çok çekiyor.
Prova. 1, 2, 3, prova. Hola. Prova, 1, 2, 3, prova.
A posto così.
Dal lunedì al venerdì lo tendi tra le 7. Что-то сегодня тебя целый день не было. Боярский, чуть смехи пошли. Наши братья, с кого можно посмеяться. Вот, я провожу помаленечку, потихоньку. Потом видео записал, уже неинтересно. Да, понятно. Потихонечку на связи. Хорошо. Здоровья, удачи. Внимание, Козырь, Москва, я Брусниха. 73. Козырь, Москва, вызывает Брусника. Пирамида, дробь, машина. Брусника, дробь, контроль. Здорово. Ребята, Козырь, Москва, я Брусника. Брусника за Москворечье. В Германии на Дальнем Востоке.
Козырь, ты скажи, чтобы эти чучмеки ушли оттуда.
Капец, тут репетр выстрелил.
Козырь, скажи, что чучмеки убежали. Если на счастье, что они старые и далеко.
Ну, хотя бы вечером поздороваться. Сергей, Пирамида, нахожусь где-то на Новой Рязанке.
А на частоте радиостанции с позывным Брусника.
Ага, приняли.
Пирамиду задавил опять. На частоте Брусника за Москворечье, КВРЗ.
Давал репетер, там обманули.
На частоте радио Брусника чуть-чуть болтает.
Я громко, как всегда, гроб машина, как танк идет.
На частоте радио Брусника. Это бесполезно. Надо езжать, надо звонить.
318. Okay, my friend, thank you very much. Your report 5x5 in the center farm. Thank you very much. 73, bye-bye.
1 Oscar, QRZ.
Once that's warmed up, that's got the slightest of edge. Because the audio's on both, they're both powerful. But that is definitely clean on the camera. Suits that nice. And just remember to hold that mic up close as the mouth that you can get. Because like I say, they're designed for mobile use. And to hold right up. You do that, and you won't get no background noise, or very limited anyway, over.
Yeah, that's right, Pete. So, having a great rub on there, you can't hear the sound going, or little munchies, do you?
No, nothing at all. Where, when it was further away, I could hear a little bit. Where you've got it now, nothing whatsoever, it's just your voice, mate, over. It took me a little longer because I looked at it and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to muck about with I drive past your house every day, mate.
E questo è 0.
Allora.
Prova radio, provo la radio, provola.
Vai bene, raga. Want to get 10 minutes, mate? I'll just be cheeky and tap the door when I'm passing.
Yeah, that's it, right. That's it, mate. Yes. Anytime. But, it's not bad. Raining, Roger.
1 Charlie Bravo, 1 Division Charlie Bravo from Rome, Italy. Break.
Yes, good morning from Wales.
I've had it years, mate. It's only been the last few years I've started using it, to be fair.
Yeah, my friend, it's one of my cousins in Salford. He's got the 2 licenses he's just done. I won't mind having to go to the foundation just to see if I can, at least I'd have a bit more scope then when the frequencies are quiet. You can go on other things, can't you, Roger?
Yeah, you're good, mate. You're really honest, mate. As I say, I wouldn't do without it, but you still got to come and talk to your pals on the other different parts. But yeah, it's interesting. You meet some different.
Perché noi siamo elementi della natura dell'universo, come cantava il grande Alan Sorrenti, noi siamo figli delle stelle, capito? Perché abbiamo gli elementi dell'universo, per cui, ritornando al discorso, non bisogna buttare via niente. Perché dà a mangiare i vermi? I vermi non è una cosa fatta per dargli a mangiare. Allora adesso fa la...
de l'INE, ça a été construit, ce sont des idées qui sont derrière. Et c'est en ça que ce texte est très intéressant. Alors évidemment, on a du mal à imaginer la société qui propose, mais c'est comme une direction. Et ce qui est intéressant, c'est comme vous évoquiez, ce rapport à la propriété, à l'égalité. Ce sont des éléments qui vont se retrouver dans quasiment toutes les utopies, jusque dans les années 60-70, où il y a donc l'abolition de la propriété, l'amour libre, l'égalité, l'harmonie, en tout cas, qui sont des directions, évidemment, il y a beaucoup de choses, disons, à redire, même sur l'utopie hippie, et je suis la première à le faire. Mais voilà, comme un cap, en fait, quelque chose, un rêve, une possibilité, encore une fois.
Surtout que ça a été écrit après au début, en tout cas, des grandes découvertes, comme on les appelle. Donc c'est un moment aussi où la géographie, le monde commençait à s'élargir, l'horizon aussi. Donc on rêvait d'ailleurs et on rêvait aussi d'autrement.
Tout à fait, le monde s'ouvrait, il y avait d'autres territoires, les Européens étaient confrontés à d'autres manières de vivre. Et donc il y avait aussi ça dans ce texte, c'est-à-dire il y a une autre façon de faire qui est possible.
Particulièrement. Elle allie une douceur à la rigueur diplomatique, révélant ainsi le charme unique des femmes diplomates sur la scène internationale. À chaque visite, son accueil est d'aussi chaleureux que parfaitement organisé. Vous avez déjà très bien préparé.
Oui.
Alors, j'ai vu les calligraphies aussi.
Oui, c'est une manière de montrer notre coopération avec la Chine. C'est guinéen, c'est africain. Et c'est fait par le tailleur guinéen.
D'accord.
C'est de la dentelle. Mais tenez-vous bien, j'ai acheté cette dentelle ici à Chine.
Ah oui?
Et quand je suis arrivé au
that constitute the real wealth. So for me, this is very incisive. This is very significant, especially for some African countries that have been driven to build what I call financial bubbles. Financial bubbles, they have their lifespan. Their fate is tied to their opposite, which is bust. So I think experience in Chinese economic planning, in which emphasis is continuously laid on the real sector. But this sector is not stagnant. This sector, like the memo, like the communique of the plenum suggested, will be completely overhauled, will be infused with new energy, will be driven to higher level, and we see the emergence of new quality productive forces. What is new quality productive forces?
各位好，来关注天气。3号，哈尔江西北部、新疆北方北部和南疆西部山区、西藏东北部、青海东部、甘肃西南部、川西高原北部等部分地区有小雪或渣雪。
Which was passed in 2010. We have also been putting in other regulations such as smoke-free places, and it's been just 1 year since we put a ban on all electronic cigarettes and vapes as well.
I was going to ask you about that because I mean you're not unique in banning vapes and e-cigarettes. There are a few dozen countries that do that. For a lot of countries though, and a lot of public health specialists, they're rather unconvinced by that move because actually, clearly, vaping carries some health downsides because it can be addicted, but it's also public health professionals say that it's a really important way in which you can get people to quit smoking, and that its health harms are far fewer than smoking. I just wonder whether you are concerned at all that perhaps it's a move that could backfire.
No, actually, I'm not concerned about this particular notion. I very firmly believe this was actually a good step that is taken towards a generation of tobacco-free citizens, because these new inventions.
聳翠的长白山，永远深邃而沉静。这片介于东经127度至128度、北纬45度至42度之间的连绵山林，既有着漫长而多雪的寒冬，也有着丰沛的降水。这里是中国野山参的决遗之地，它伴随着火山大爆发年代塑造而成的陡峭峡谷、云翻雨倾、浪叠如烟的高山流瀑，以及
比如说我们这个在北京地区
再回到我们的看到的这个风向，
刮风刮是吧？刮北风了是吧？夏天的时候刮凉风都暖和了是吧？等等这些的，户外运动它不是一天两天的就能够弄明白的事儿，它是一个长期的过程，是一个积累的过程。是不应该说我今天去了我就知道今天这就是北风。你不应该，即使是北风，你不应该判断是北风。
一级判断出来，
你也判断出它是蓝色。
但确实有很多种发明说这个一个人在这个荒野的环境下斩钉截铁的告诉你，这个我判断这是北风，马上看到你没有举报他。学协议了。那刚才在您的这个介绍过程当中，我们也感受到了，多次提到这个记得同时作为一个专业人士，我感觉是不需要那些没有必要的想法，没有必要说在户外在野外的这种环境下面去做一些调制的。当然了，情况紧急或者情况特殊的时候，情况下面我们可能会去做这些考量，但大多数时候我们还是做好了自己充足的准备以后再去上路，而不会去打一场无准备之仗。但是呢，我们在这次的这个他们的赛事比较看到说的是前2周他们的退赛人员当中有18%说出现了严重的心理问题，不是普通的心理问题，是严重的啊。那进入真正的荒野的话，我们现在普通人能够想到的就是我们在城市里生活时想到很多人，而到了荒野当中呢，就真的是只有自己了，确实会感觉孤单这样一个。另外还有哪些就是造成很多危险的这样的一些因素呢？
实际上在野外的这个动觉呢，有很多不一样。有的人可能是独处恐惧，有的人可能是黑暗恐惧，有的人可能是躯体焦虑等等，每个人他们的这个都不太一样。但是像刚才主持人说啊，我们实际上是那一种所谓的孤独，我们并没有真正的离开城市，是吧？这边有多远？它只不过是我们所谓的不断的换场。其实换这个环境，就像我们现在当中，比如说我们去北京周边的一些所谓的相对比较野的地儿哈，但实际上它离我们城市也不是很远，你汽车可能有一个1个小时2个小时就到了，它离我们城市人不远。所谓的产生这个焦虑呢，我们可以用有很多办法解决，比如说跟自己说说话，跟他唱唱歌这个可以蛮严重的一个孤独焦虑。因为我们在城市生活当中呢，无时无刻不在与他人交流，哪怕就是我们做个事情的时候，你都不认识，但实际上也是一种眼神的交流，甚至是身体上的交流。那么在野外这个没有了，跟自然相比，丛林、社区是鸟叫，实际上是我们是去体验另一种生活，但并不是说恐惧。那么所谓的恐惧，它可能我也不太。
经贸合作，持续巩固着两国密切的双边关系。位于罗马尼亚中部的迪斯雷萨市正式入选联合国教科文组织新设立的创意城市网络建筑领域成员。该公告于中午世界城市日当天发布。本次全球共58座城市入选名单，包括格但斯克、吉隆坡、基辅、新奥尔良和瓦尔纳等。由此，比斯利萨在国内与此前已入选的雅西和克鲁日拉波卡共同跻身该创意网络。这里是罗马尼亚国际广播电台的汉语节目。纵观罗马尼亚，历史长廊。亲爱的听众朋友，你们好，欢迎您收听这里一期历史长廊专题节目，这们是罗马尼亚宪兵的历史。罗马尼亚国家从19世纪中叶开始建立自己的武装力量结构，其中之一便是宪兵部队。它于1850年在摩尔多瓦公国成立，然而在此之前已经存在一些与维护公共秩序、保障公民和财产安全有关的组织。从1829年俄罗斯与奥斯曼帝国签订和平条约后，这些组织被称为民兵卫队或国民警卫。尽管兵力有限，宪兵仍参加了1877年至1878年的罗马尼亚独立战争以及1913年的第二次巴尔干战争，同时也参与了2次世界大战。1893年，农村宪兵部队成立。在175年的历史中，罗宪兵既有光荣的篇章，也有黑暗的记录。例如，参与镇压1907年农民起义，以及在20世纪40年代参与大屠杀。1948年，宪兵部队被共产主义政权解散，而在1989年反共革命之后，于1990年重新建立。在罗马尼亚广播电台口述历史中心的档案中，保存着一些前宪兵的采访录音，他们回忆了自己经历的历史事件。其中一位是格里戈雷·梅库雷斯库上校。1995年，他回忆起自己作为宪兵学校学员时，在1941年1月铁卫团叛乱期间参与保卫宪兵总督察署的经历。他说，宪兵军官学校也参与了这一事件。负责守卫位于斯特凡大公大街的宪兵总督察署，在那段时间，我们所有学员都制定了保卫宪兵总督察署大楼的防御计划。如果铁卫团对这栋建筑和机构发动攻击，我们必须能够抵御。铁卫团的大批人群在斯特凡大公大街高呼：“我们要霍利亚西马！”有情报称他们可能会发动攻击，正是为了预防这一攻击，我们布置了防御。铁卫团确实停在宪兵总督察署前，但大概是因为看到我们以轻机枪、机枪和步枪组成的防御队形，最终放弃了攻击，继续前行。1995年，10级将军米海巴隆回顾了1944年8月23日罗马尼亚重大倒戈事件。他当时是步兵宪兵团的值班军官，必须参与打击驻布贾勒斯的德军。他说，8月24日早上8点左右，一位骑兵上尉来到我们团门口，非常焦急地请求我们支援，否则德军就会突破包围。我立刻向团长汇报，他命令我 旗和营房内的可用兵力，2个排外加1个机枪班，我把他们派了出去。德军被机枪火力包围约半个小时后，举起白旗投降。在押送德军至宪兵团的途中，从大酒店方向有人向宪兵开火，部分宪兵强行进入酒店，将驻扎在那里的德军军官带走，与俘虏一同押送至宪兵团院内。大约有230名军官、士官和士兵被俘，其中还有200名大队员。同样在1995年，埃米尔·米霍列斯克将军回顾了战后宪兵学校及整个宪兵部队被新共产党政权解散的情景。一些历史学家认为，这是对一支被视为资本家和地主看门狗、地主镇压农民工具的精英部队的惩罚。他说，宪兵学校的重要性不仅在于学员的素质，还因为其师资力量强大。与宪兵总督察署同属一栋大楼，那里的军官都是具备极高专业素养和完整军事文化的人，大多数毕业于高级战争学校，是顶尖的职业军官。当时宪兵军官学校的课程体系也具有独特之处，3年学制涵盖各方面的综合培养，造就了一批训练有素的军官。他们在战争中无论在东线还是在西线都表现突出，正因如此，他们对国家和军队做出了巨大的贡献。罗马尼亚宪兵部队作为国家的重要组成机构，其历史与当时社会与人民的处境紧密相关，它拥有悠久的传统，需要以严谨和理解人性局限的态度去评价。以上是一学为您播送的历史长浪专辑节目，题目是罗马尼亚宪兵的历史。谢谢各位的收听，下次节目再见。亲爱的听众朋友，欢迎您收听今天的电波之旅专辑节目。今天节目的主题是野牛乐园。尼亚姆茨县的野牛乐园是罗马尼亚东北部的一个生态旅游目的地，以其自然景观和丰富的生物多样性而闻名。该地区拥有标记清晰的山间小径，非常适合徒步旅行和野生动物观察，把握欧洲主要旅游目的地。首先，我们与生态旅游目的地经理维尤莱拉基法一起旅行目的地。该地区是一个覆盖了瓦纳托里、尼亚姆茨自然公园、阿加皮亚镇、贝尔茨、阿泰什镇、克里乔阿尼镇、尼亚姆茨市的微型区域。这是一个极具吸引力的目的地。首先，我们想到的是修道院。该地区被称为罗马尼亚的阿索斯圣山，因为公园和目的地内有超过17座隐居处和修道院。此外，我们还有重要的罗马尼亚作家的纪念馆，如克里昂加纪念馆、维罗利卡·米克莱亚纪念馆、亚历山大·弗拉胡塔纪念馆和米哈伊尔·萨德维亚努纪念馆。最后，我们还有尼亚姆茨要塞历史与民族志博物馆、 以及哈加皮亚修道院的生活博物馆。这些只是众多个景点中的几个。我们的行程要以瓦纳托里尼亚姆茨自然公园的游客中心为主。瓦纳托里尼亚姆茨自然公园的游客中心应该是每一次探索野牛之地之旅的起点。经过去年的翻新，这里不仅有关于野牛和森林的精美立体模型，约100平方米的沉浸式的投影，360的 VR 眼镜，高科技机械装置，还有氛围灯和创意解说。Violetta 告诉我们说，游客中心内是有野牛博物馆，以及致力于公园多样生物性常设和临时展览。展览主要以森林和野牛为主题，也融入了当地历史和社区因素。此外，展览还包括互动元素，例如教育视频、游戏和信息面板。你可以了解更多关于森林、循环、生物多样性，我们如何与自然互动，以及我们对自然的影响。今年展览将进行翻新或者教育和当地艺术家的作品。我们还想提醒一下游客中心的纪念品商店，您可以在这里购买当地产品。我们致力于推广和项目体验。瓦纳托里尼亚姆茨自然公园的工作人员计划今年在游客中心增设一个区域。
A French couple have set off on what they hope will be a record-breaking 3-month swim across the Atlantic Ocean. Mathieu Wittwood and Chloe Léger-Wittwood departed from Cape Verde, off the African coast, at the start of their 3,800-kilometre journey. Mathieu said they were excited for the challenge ahead.
Pour arriver jusqu'ici, c'était déjà toute une aventure.
Getting here has already been a whole adventure. We're leaving with a great support team, our boat captain, videographer, cook and a nurse. We have revised a few protocols. There are still many unknowns, but that is part of the adventure. And we're super excited to leave in these conditions, which are ideal.
The pair will take turns swimming for 6 hours each every day. They're being accompanied by a support vessel. And that's the latest BBC World News.
On radio, online and on mobile, this is Sports World on the BBC World Service.
Hello, this is Delia Lloyd. Welcome to Sports World's Premier League Sunday. Manchester City suffered their first defeat in 6 matches last weekend. They welcome a Bournemouth side who've only lost once so far this season. Alistair Bruce Ball will be watching.
We're at the Etihad Stadium to watch Arsenal's closest challengers at the top of the Premier League, but that team's currently Bournemouth, not Manchester City. Andoni Iraola's side are unbeaten in 8 league games, but they've never beaten City on their own patch. If City win this, they go second.
It will be a battle of 2 strong football philosophies between the Spanish managers of Pep Guardiola and Andoni Iraola. But Iraola is playing down their chances of challenging for the title.
I want City to win every game, I want Liverpool to win every game, I want Arsenal to win every game, those are not our rivals. This is not because now for 1 week we could be, because the goal difference a little bit ahead. No. At the end of the season we know we are not going to be there with those teams, because they will be in other fights. We will be in another fight.
Plus, we'll get the latest on struggling West Ham as they host Newcastle United.
Sports World's Premier League Sunday, live with Delith Lloyd.
Yes, and a very warm welcome to you this Sunday. Welcome to Sports World with me, Delith Lloyd, and the rest of the team as well. We'll find out what makes Bournemouth head coach Andoni Iraola so good. They feature, as I say, in our live Premier League commentary game away at Manchester City. We'll discuss all the big talking points as well across the domestic leagues in Europe. That's on the way shortly. There's also MLS and NWSL football to bring you over the next hour. We'll have the latest from baseball's World Series a little bit later as well. And of course, we'll have tennis. The final of the Paris Masters is ongoing. And of course, the WTA finals in Riyadh are well underway as well. So we'll get the latest on those two events. There's one early kickoff in the Premier League this Sunday, as I touched on. West Ham, who are still looking for their first home win of the season, playing Newcastle. George Cummings is at London Stadium.
Yeah, afternoon, Delith. Well, very interesting game. West Ham early in the match broke through. Jarrod Bowen's shot hit the post, and then you wouldn't believe it, Newcastle went up the other end. Jacob Murphy with a great goal to give Newcastle a lead. But since then, West Ham, they really bounced back. I mean, the crowd, they were so deflated, but the players put in so much effort, and they now lead 2-1. Paquetá got his own luck when he managed to shoot past Nick Pope in the Newcastle goal, and then on the stroke of half-time, Aaron Wan-Bissaka crossed the ball into the Newcastle net, and into Newcastle box, and Sven Botman put it in his own net. But Newcastle are not very good. Eddie Howe's not like what he's seen. He's just made a couple of changes just as we restart the second half.
And it goes without saying, George, doesn't it, that West Ham really are badly in need of a win, and particularly at home.
Yeah, they've been really bad at home, and also in the programme notes, really significant today that they've been so bad that Jarrod Bowen actually said that we are in trouble. He said we are in trouble, we have to accept that, but we have to go all out and fight as a team and get out of trouble. And he said they've really got to pull their finger out. And to be fair to them today, they lead 2-1 and they have pulled their finger out.
George, thank you. George Cummings there at London Stadium. So West Ham so far leading Newcastle United by 2-1. Early stages, as George was saying, of the second half. For the first time in 25 years, a new name will be inscribed on the Women's World Cup trophy. I'm talking cricket, of course. South Africa and India have never won it, but by the end of today, one of them will have made history. We'll keep you across this, of course, throughout the rest of the programme. A delayed start, though, due to rain in Navi Mumbai. They eventually got underway. South Africa won the toss and put the co-hosts India into bat. India made 298 for 7 from their 50 overs a short time ago. South Africa have yet to start their reply, so they're just in the middle of that innings break at the moment in Navi Mumbai. We'll keep you updated throughout Sports World on the final of the Women's Cricket World Cup. But it is that time of the week when we reflect and preview all the big stories that are happening across the European leagues. It is, of course, Eurostars.
Left foot, Mbappe! Bottom corner, 3-0, and it's a Kylian Mbappe Champions League hat-trick. Elise comes on the inside of tail. Elise with a shot and rifles the ball past Schmeichel. Dembele with a shot, it's in! Through a crowd of players, PSG have an early lead. Rafinha trying to do it again! Oh, an incredible hat-trick! An outstanding treble from Rafinha! Fratesi! Oh, he's done it! David Fratesi puts Inter in front yet again. Kvaratskhelia onto this, into the box, scores number 4. That seals it. As Marquinhos walks the trophy across and raises it above his head to signify that Paris Saint-Germain are champions of Europe.
Eurostars on Sports World with Delith Lloyd.
Love this part of the week. Joining me this Sunday, Sports World's very own Manny Jasmy, primed as ever, I'm sure. Manny, how are you?
Hello, Delith. I'm all right, thank you. Fresh from attending a Dolly Parton tribute act.
Was that 9 to 5 by any chance?
No, it was 0900 1700 GMT, I think.
Oh, getting the World Service clock in as well on Sports, so loving it, Manny. Spanish football expert Eduardo Alvarez, can you top attending a Dolly Parton soiree?
He's speechless.
Eduardo is speechless. I don't think we can quite hear you at the moment. I know you are talking, Eduardo. I can see your lips move. How are you?
Yeah,
I'm fine. I was saying that I cannot top that. I was at Real Madrid Barcelona at El Bernabeu last weekend, but I think that that's really no competition for Dolly Parton's soiree.
No, I don't think it is, Manny, is it? I think you've won that one, to be honest, Manny. You mentioned El Clasico. We've got to start in La Liga. Of course, we have Eduardo. Real Madrid now 7 points clear of second place Villarreal after that 4-0 comfortable win, I think it was fair to say, on Saturday over Valencia. Kylian Mbappe scoring twice. But we know a lot of the focus this week has been the fallout from El Clasico. A lot of the headlines on Vinicius Jr. He was unhappy at being subbed, wasn't he, in El Clasico. He then apologised to the fans in midweek and the club and the president. I noticed he omitted out the manager, Xabi Alonso, as well in that apology. And he had the chance to somewhat redeem himself, I think, last night, didn't he, by scoring a penalty, but he did not. So where on earth are we with this whole Vinicius Jr. saga?
I mean, it's pretty clear that there's no love lost between Vinicius and Xabi Alonso, even though they said all the right things in midweek about being part of a team, and Vinicius apologized, and Xavi was very gracious, recognizing that Vinicius had made an effort. But the fact is that the level of discipline and structure that Xavi brought to the team is excellent for some of the players, but not as good for other players. And Vinicius, he loves have that freedom, that creativity, and obviously he loves playing all 90 minutes. And he's only done that 3 times
the main man at the Bernabeu.
Agreed. The fact is that they supported him through every single tough spell, but they hired Mbappé. And hiring Mbappé is immediately telling Vinicius, you're number 2. So the support was there until there was an option that they thought it was better than the current one. And Florentino Perez and Real Madrid in the last decade, I would say, have been ruthless with this. Obviously, they take care of veterans, etc. But when there's a bigger star they can sign, they will go for it. And now one of these, this is obviously Vinicius realizing that he's not the go-to guy, the number 1 option anymore. And he's having to deal with that, and it's not an easy one for him. Having won 2 Champions League, scoring into Champions League finals, he thought he deserved to be the number 1 guy, and obviously he's not anymore.
And he's only 25, Manny, isn't he? Still very young. But for him, obviously, to come out with the comments post El Clasico that, you know, he was wanting to leave the club. Admittedly, he's come out and apologised for his behaviour. But, you know, you can argue that there's only going to be one winner, isn't there, between Vinicius and Xabi Alonso as well, because Alonso is not going anywhere.
Well, that's an interesting question, because if you look at Real Madrid's most successful managers this century, and I'm talking about the guys who won the Champions League, Del Bosque, Zidane and Ancelotti, what they have in common is that they used the soft touch. They prioritized talent above tactics. Not that they didn't have any tactics, but they managed the egos in the dressing room superbly well, and in the end they won loads of Champions League titles. Xabi Alonso is not that kind of coach. He's very strict. He's got his structure in mind. He's told the players to work harder than they did last year. Now, at the moment, they're top of the league. They've won all their Champions League games, so that's going well. But if it doesn't go well, and I'm sure Vinicius isn't the only player who has had his nose put out of joint by not having the freedom to express himself on the pitch. If it doesn't go well and the players turn on Xabi Alonso, then I don't know, Eduardo knows the club better than I do. Who's going to stay?
That would be an extremely interesting point, because as Dalit was speaking, I'm not so sure that Alonso is untouchable. No manager has been untouchable in Real Madrid, pretty much. And especially under Perez's tenure, if you lose 2 or 3 matches in a row, so we've been players actively being remiss so that a certain coach would lose his job. It wouldn't be the first time, it won't be the last. But right now, it seems like the club is 100% behind Alonso and Mbappé. The attitude of the club management right now is, we already have a star. You should not be misbehaving because we already have a star. So this is not last season, this is not 2 seasons ago. Now you have to deal with what comes from the coach, because we're betting on Alonso. Right now, that's the case. But again, that can change with any 2 or 3 match spell that is not positive for Alonso.
No, it's interesting, like you say, that perhaps he isn't untouchable. I suppose only time will tell if they were to get into a bit of a run of poor form or whatever. You know, that being said, if Vinicius were to go at some point down the line, Manny,